Welcome back to another 31-minute podcast.
Hello. Happy New Year.
One fly in here.
Yeah, I know. It's quite humid, isn't it? Should I turn the aircon on?
No, there's one fly in here.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, maybe that's why I sing here.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm good. How are
Good.
you?
Yeah, good.
That's good.
I think you should film yourself as well.
Yeah, well, we've been going on about where the second camera is for like
We're still
ages
doing
ago.
that. All right. Okay. Well, next one we'll film.
Yes.
Film you as well because I think it'll
Not
make
that
good
anyone wants to
cutaways
see.
because you're becoming quite popular on this thing.
Oh,
Broccoli.
yeah. Everyone wants to see my ugly face.
You know, I want to do two topics on this one, and I got a message during the week from somebody that I think it's probably a good topic to just talk about.
Getting a lot of messages lately, which is good.
A lot of messages.
Yeah, we like people asking us questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to do that, just, you know what to do.
Here's a message from a guy, and this is not exactly the topic today, but it's part of. And I get a few messages like this. Maybe not this dramatic, but similar. So, hi mate, I've never heard of you before, but my friend suggested I check you out. I'm homeless. I feel that I'm days away from taking my life. I'm coming out of drug addiction and just don't see a way out. I spent 12 years running cocktail bars, blah, 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 blah. And I have a desire to change the path and do something with my life, obviously, as you did. I don't know where to start, and I could really use some advice. After I kill this fly. I don't kill things very much, but anyway, so yeah, that's a pretty heavy message.
Yeah, it's
like from somebody who's thinking about killing themselves. And I have to say, we've all been there. Oh, maybe you haven't, but I have.
I'm still young, yeah.
Definitely. And I'm glad I didn't. You know, I'm glad I didn't. But it wasn't something just from the inside that stopped me doing that. It was more someone believed in me. And that person was Dino back then. And then it became Karina and then family and all that sort of stuff. But I think, have you ever heard of that saying, let someone believe in you enough until you do yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like self-belief is a weird thing. It's like everyone's born the same, but the person here might believe that they're going to be successful, and this person here doubts themselves and, uses drugs use drugs as a Band-Aid and make myself feel better, and I lived in that space for a long time. But isn't it funny we're all got the same sort of capabilities? Like we're not born with, this guy got an extra hammer and screwdriver and this and that, so he's a bit more advanced. But we're all got the same sort of opportunity, and it's what you do with that. So killing yourself, my sister killed herself, her son killed himself at 14. So I sort of have a bit of a understanding of it. It's that fly, mate.
Yeah, it's the one fly in the room.
And it's not about killing yourself. It's about the moment, and the moment that you decide to make something of yourself.
Yeah,
it's like it can be done. It's like but do you really want to?
well, that's the thing that people got to ask themselves.
Yeah, but do you really want to? That's exactly what it is. I got to the point, how they say you hit rock bottom?
Yeah.
Got to hit rock bottom. The reason for that is it creates such hunger because you either go, I'll kill myself, or hang on, I don't want to be here anymore. The pain's too much. I'm going to make something of myself. And I think there's that moment when you do.
Yeah.
But it's not just, you don't have to hit rock bottom.
No.
You can be like doing pretty well, but know that there's more in the tank.
Yeah.
Know that you're capable of more. I do. Like I'm constantly raising my bar because I want to see what's possible.
Yeah.
But there's something, it is hot in here, but there's something with achievement, I think. Look, I don't know. I think differently about things sometimes, it seems, because some people think I'm weird and then over time they're like, oh yeah, maybe he was onto something. Happened my whole life. But have you ever wondered why some people achieve more than others? And I'm not talking about Elon Musk. Like everyone has these people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Okay, that's great. They found something that worked for them and the scale was massive.
Extreme case sort of thing.
I'm talking about just high performance as an individual. on a day-to-day basis. Like let's keep it sort of manageable.
Yeah.
But have you ever wondered why?
Yeah, for sure. Like
what is it though?
So I don't know. Like, is it a mindset thing? Is it just like they're just willing to work harder than everyone else, sort of thing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, so this guy that took
like
the time,
you, for instance, you willing to work harder than anyone else.
I still am.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's like, or a mindset thing. Your mindset's so different, whereas like you don't really focus on negatives, but you outwork anyone that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
But what else were we born with, Broccoli? This is the thing. People are looking for this magic formula or this magical bit of advice from people. Like, we're just born with energy and thought and ability. That's it. Some have a bit more ability, like if your arm's not working or it's not working. And I saw someone digging with their feet, like on TikTok the other day. Yeah. They have no arms, but they're on a construction site, digging with their feet, standing up, digging with their feet, chucking the dirt in the back of a truck. See how adaptable people are? Yeah, but see how adaptable people are? That's what I mean. We're born. Boom. What are you going to do about it? And that's sort of why there's no instruction book, because it's like, I think, because it's like, how much can you expand your thought to a point and then say, okay, I've thought about that. Because if you think about something, so I'd like to be known globally. I really would. This is like been a thing for me that it's like, I want someone in America to go, hey, can you come and talk at our conference? Yeah. I'd probably say no. No, okay. But it's like, but I see myself as that at some point in my life. But I've seen myself as that for a long time. Yeah. So what you think about is like, it almost creates the bar, like the target, and then what are you going to do about it? Yeah. So this guy who wrote to me, we had a bit of a backwards and forward texting, but he's asking a question. But my instant thing is, how much do you want it? Like, how much? And how do you work out how much you want it? Well, your actions will show after this. My message to him is not going to change anything. Yeah. You don't need a message from him, but sometimes you might be a little bit of belief from somebody else, enough to say, yeah, they're right. Okay, I'm going to do something about it. But that's all you from there. Yeah. And like, to become a pro athlete, for instance, 1% of the world becomes that. Yeah. Like, the journey to that is relentless. Yeah. Every day, working towards one thing. People who win the Olympics, one gold medal. Yeah. They train their entire life to win a piece of gold. Yeah. Every 4 years. Like, that's what every 4 years. Once every 4 years. Like, that's right. Have you seen that weightlifter that falls over? Yeah. 1 year, and then 4 years later he stuffs up again. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They're waiting 4 years and they could get second. It's like, they don't care about second. Yeah, but I think about what's driving them. Yeah. And we go on about, you know how much success training there is out there? Like, my goodness, you get on TikTok and there's so much advice from it. Where do you start? Literally advice from anyone. You got Grant Cardone buying hundreds and hundreds of units everywhere, and I don't know what's going on there. And then you got Gary Vee saying, just have empathy. And then you got The Rock saying, just work hard. And you got someone else saying this, and then someone else saying that. Like, where do you start? And that's really why I wanted to read that message. Where do you start? Well, that's a bit daunting to someone who doesn't know where to start. All these people telling you what to do. Yeah. And as you said, where do you actually start? Yeah. It's like, first you have to pick your target. Yeah. What's that target for you? So mine has been, I want to be known globally. Like, not famous, don't get me wrong. The fame thing is not exactly what I'm shooting for. It's the ability to be known, to go speak, or to bring more opportunity into your life. A bit like what Gary Vee's done. I like what Gary Vee has done. Yeah. He's the highest paid speaker in the world. Yeah. And he's sort of walked to his own beat and got known about that. I like that. Yeah. Even though it's like, I don't listen to him too much now. Cause I listen to him a fair bit. Well, it's kind of still the same message. But it is. There you go. I was going to say a bit repetitive, but it's like, that's all it is. Yeah, it's repetition. Same over message, and over again. Like, just portrayed in different ways, different metaphors, stuff like that. So we're stepping into the new year, and a lot of people review the last year and say, all right, what do I want this year? But my question is, how much do you really want it? So if you want to increase your business by 2, what's that going to take? I think it's going to be like 5 times the force to get double the return on the business. because you've got to apply yourself so much to get so much more momentum, like to double it.
Yeah.
And it's like when people fall a bit short, like, is that because they didn't apply themselves enough, or they didn't want it enough, or they just need to do it again next year?
Yeah. Well, what is it? Like, okay, if someone's really consistent but they don't really like double themselves or double their output, they just stay consistent at doing what they do.
Yeah.
Well, what do you reckon about that?
Yeah. Well, it's a time thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same for me, number one in McGrath for 15 years. Like, I just had my eye on that ball. Like, I would not take my eye off of that thing. And a lot of people would go, oh, who cares? Like, that's not really a great achievement. But to me, it was. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to create an electric car for myself to feel that's my target. And Elon's was that. Elon Musk was that target. Well, it's the proof that
if you set out a target, you can do it eventually if you stay consistent.
Yeah, we've said we want, 1 million people on Instagram that want to be a part of us, not buy followers and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Even though we looked into that, let's be honest, like we looked into that and we gave this guy in America said we got genuine followers, we did that, but they all go down again. Like it's like not real.
No.
It's like we want authentically to connect with people, and we'd love $1 million, and we'll record this, $1 million followers on Instagram one day. Yeah. But we're not doing it for that. That's just like KPI almost.
Yeah.
We're doing it because like I want to connect with more people over the world so America rings one day and says, do you want to come and speak? I do.
America, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Get off the phone.
But it'll happen. At some point in time, it'll happen. And today my responsibility is to have my actions match my desire.
Yeah.
Like I could quite easily not do the podcast today. I mean, what's this podcast? Yeah. We're not Joe Rogan. No. So it's like, does it matter?
No one's Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but does it matter if we don't do it today?
Yeah.
But it matters to me because we've committed to it.
That's what I mean. It matters because like I heard this thing the other day, like if you let go of your dreams for one day, that could be pushing it back in the big scheme of things, like a month. You just don't know.
It does.
Yeah.
Because your momentum stops. It's all, and that's really how you need to gauge your progress. It's not so much your results, because your results this year as opposed to 3 years' time like might be vastly different. You might not hit your target this year. I've done that year after year after year sometimes. But I could feel my momentum building, and that's really what we should gauge ourselves on. And only we know if we've given it everything. Have we got up at the right time? Have we eaten well? Have we exercised? Have we made enough contacts? Have we moved our business forward? Have we connected with our family if we have one? Have we planned for tomorrow so we go to bed and know exactly what we've got to do tomorrow? Like, that's a pretty easy formula.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any other formula, really. It just grows, like it expands. And then the word scale is really interesting because it's like we look at Jeff Bezos being worth $130 billion, but he has 25 companies that are global.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. And same as with your effort, it's the momentum will eventually connect. It's like what are those things that snowball or something? It's like a snowball.
And
it keeps building and building.
Yeah,
keeps building and building and building till it has so much force that you can't hold it back anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I look at, I gauge myself on, and I know at the end of the day if I've done that or not. But if you want to achieve your target, I'll guarantee every target that you want will be achieved over time if your momentum matches the target.
Yeah.
That's why time's sort of like, it takes time. It takes time to crank it over every day. It's like going to the gym. Do you still go to the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like 4 times a week?
Yeah, okay, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Did you make progress in the beginning and then now you've plateaued a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Is your enthusiasm a little bit less than it was in the beginning?
Well, it was before the Christmas break, and then because I had more time at Christmas, I decided to get back into training more, and then I've definitely seen better results, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you started, how keen out of 10 were you when you started the gym?
When I first started?
Yeah.
Keen, 10.
10?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Probably dropped down to like a 7 and a 6, went through the motions sort of
7,
thing.
why?
I don't know, just got bored.
Did you have a target that was clear enough?
Yeah, I wanted to gain like 15 kilos.
Yeah.
And then I actually got there.
Yeah, you got there?
And then I was like, then I wanted to like lean out a bit more.
And was that hard?
Yes.
Yeah, that was hard.
I still haven't done
And
it.
did you lose enthusiasm because it was hard?
Yeah, a
And it
little
was
bit.
all a bit like, oh, it's all too hard.
Yeah.
A great example for
Yeah.
life, Broccoli. Your gym experience, I reckon, is just going to help hundreds of people to picture exactly why people don't achieve their goals.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. People make fun of me.
Yeah.
Like, people actually make fun of me because I'm 48 years old and I train relatively hard, but I have a vision of how I want my body to be. Even this morning, I woke up, I said to Tara that I'm going to make my body phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make my body phenomenal. And she's like, oh, yeah. Like, yeah, that's good. But to me, when I say that, I'm like increasing my target. Like, I'm increasing it. I'm like bringing it even. It's like a sniper rifle. You know, I don't have this like shot. I don't know how to use guns, but it's like I don't have a shotgun just like that. I'm refining it, so I'm like, you know, those guys that are like SAS, elite force of the world, one shot and they can shoot you in Turkey. You know, that sort of thing. That's what I'm doing. So like when I talk about it, but I've got to believe it though. Like the momentum has to match the target. That's what I'm saying. It's like, how many times do I go to the gym?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Every
Usually.
day.
I didn't yesterday. I went once. But I know when I'm on track, I'll go once when I've got other things, like I took the kids for a surf and all that sort of stuff. But I definitely go at least once. But I work out pretty hard. Like I work out fast, not much breaks, sweat. Jackson trained with me the other day. He said, I've never sweated so much ever in a weight session.
Yeah.
Compared to his mates go for 2.5 hours. I go for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, something like that. I call it 31 minutes, but it doesn't matter. It's around that time. Yeah. And I'll do a full one muscle group, 5 exercises, 5 sets, 30 seconds break between each set. So by the time you finish, you're stuffed.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you've seen me train. Yeah. But it's like, but how much growth do I get in that one session?
A lot.
No.
Oh, not.
No, not much at all.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's the session.
How much does your muscle grow in one gym workout?
Yeah, no. Maybe like mentally when you look at yourself in the mirror, but...
Yeah, but it goes down again.
Yeah.
Like you can walk out of the gym and feel like, oh, I feel pumped. Yeah. That goes away pretty quickly. I know. Yeah. So to see some growth, how long does it take?
I don't know, like months, I reckon. I
don't know, like...
Months. 2 months, I don't know.
Maybe, and then you plateau.
Yeah.
And then you got to that's what I mean. Shake it up again.
Yeah, you get to the level and then you're like, oh, how do I get to the next level?
Yeah.
And then that's like...
And you want to lean up. And that's harder again.
Yeah, I know.
Because what got you to be 15 kilos heavier
is
the opposite of what you need to do to lean up, but you've got to maintain the size.
Yeah, exactly.
Really difficult.
Yeah.
Really difficult.
Yeah.
I try and grow without getting fat. Yeah. Like, it's so hard. And that's what I was saying before, people make fun of me. And I think, was it you? Or no, it was Isaac or something. I can't remember who it was, or Jackson. They said they should just hang out with you and come work out with you. Then I'm pretty sure they'll stop making fun of you. Not that I'm doing anything else, but I make time for it. I'm committed to it. I do it, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. At 48 years old, I'm not 20 years old, so all the chemicals in your body are like not as firing as they were when you're that age.
Yeah.
And you've got to eat well, you've got to do all sorts of stuff. You've got to work out. I reckon I have to work out harder because I'm older.
Yeah.
It's like I've got to get my body, I've got to treat it mean. I do. Yeah. You know, to get the results, because your elasticity is not the same and all sorts of stuff. So you can apply that to anything. I like the gym part because you can see it.
Yeah, exactly.
And most people want to be fitter.
Well, even when people go to the gym, they might not get results after a week, but for some reason they believe that if they keep going, they'll get results. Why don't they believe that with anything else?
Anything. Yeah, that's right.
Literally anything else.
So I'm on a bit of a wealth creation run at the moment. And I'm working pretty closely with Richard, who's like our CFO. And I'm like, this is where I want to be. So I go and source people who are smarter with money than me. Yeah. And every month I'm meeting with him. To go over it. I'm texting him, he'd probably get sick of me now, but I'm texting him most days, like, this is what I need to do, this is where I want to be, this is properties I want to get, blah, blah, blah. So he's like working with me with it. And that's what I mean. It's like doing it on your own with your own knowledge isn't that easy. I could sit here and tell you exactly the reason why you're not achieving your leanness with how you want it to be. Like, I know exactly what it would be for you.
Yeah.
So surrounding yourself with these people who are like cheering for you, I can't stand negative people.
No.
Can't stand them.
Neither can
Like,
I.
it's just get
Just-
them out of your life. Cut
Yeah.
them all out of your life. People that, like, you know, people message me about just rubbish. Like, oh, yeah, yeah, all sorts of things. And I'm just like, oh, whatever, mate.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But why wouldn't they say, or say nothing if you've got nothing to say,
Yeah.
or say like, oh, good on you for trying. Like,
no,
you never get
that's what I
messages
mean.
saying, oh, actually you do. That's not right. You do. It's like,
But you just don't understand why people would go out of their own way, spend time out of their own day to say, like, bring other person down.
yeah. Well, let's not go on a haters
Yeah.
one, but it's like,
Let's just keep
how
talking
much
about
do you
it.
want this thing? That's
Yeah.
my question for you today. How much do you want it? Are you like that guy thinking about killing yourself tomorrow, or are you in a reasonable job, but you know you got capable of more? Are you in a relationship that you're just not happy with and you're scared to either leave it or fix it? You don't know what to do. Are you overweight? You're listening to this and you know that you have a great body under there, that you just need to uncover it. What's it going to take? Some people just don't know and they don't do anything. But time will pass. A year, 5, 10, and imagine you use that time more effectively. So my advice today on this is pick your target, start working towards it slowly. Momentum, momentum, momentum. When a car goes 110 kilometres an hour, you don't take off at 110 kilometres an hour. You take off at 1 kilometre, 5 kilometres, 7 kilometres, 10, and it slowly gets faster, doesn't it, until it picks up. And then you can cruise at 100 Ks and take your foot off the accelerator.
Yeah.
Great analogy for life. Great analogy for achieving what you want to achieve. But where are you driving to? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you driving to Bondi Junction to go do something? That's your thing. You got to know your plan to get there. You got to have a map to get there. Yep. You got to know the way to go. And then your job is the momentum part. That's it. You can't make that happen any quicker because you've got to learn some skills, you've got to learn people. Like, if you want to get leaner, you've got to go and source some advice, you've got to apply it, you've got to find out what works for you. It's as much as a test thing as it is an achievement thing.
Yeah.
You've got to find what works for you. But there's two things that do not go away in the pursuit of success, or the two reasons that people don't achieve success that they want. One, they're not clear enough on what they want. And two, they're not willing to do that little bit every day that's going to give them the 110 kilometres an hour momentum. You can't do just enough and expect to race on a racetrack.
Yeah.
You have to actually have a build-up of speed to go as fast to keep up with everybody else and hopefully beat them. And every day in the gym, you don't see any growth.
Yeah.
None. So why do you go?
Because people just believe that you're going to grow.
They're accepting of it.
Yeah.
That's right. They're accepting of it because they know you got to go and do one rep. So one rep, boom. Okay, well, what's that done? Nothing. Yeah, but do it 10 times and then do it five sets.
Yeah.
And then go again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'll visit you in a year's time. And what in the meantime, I want you to commitment to stay the same, but I want your intensity to build. And on top of that, your diet and everything else that's got to come into it as well. It's complex, but it's simple.
Yeah, literally.
And the only reason it won't happen is because you're just not sticking enough to it and building the intensity as you go, and you won't have the same momentum. Success is all about momentum and knowing where you're going.
There you go. Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye.